Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. The video today is another Dear Debbie letter with a really interesting question submitted by one of my viewers. And she's interested in uh, the possibility of changing our beliefs so that we have a different result about something that's going on, and specifically about our eating habits. If we change the belief that eating ice cream will make us fat, then can we eat the ice cream and not get fat? How, how much influence do our beliefs have on our life experience? Keep watching. I got a lot to say about this one. I have to admit, this is like the fourth take on this video because I just keep going off on a tangent here. I'm going to try really hard to stick to the point. Let me read the question to you first, all right? She says, if we were to stop thinking ice cream is an unhealthy thing that makes us gain weight, then our subconscious would also stop receiving it as that. Therefore, we would not have any negative feelings as an outcome of eating ice cream. So why don't we just rearrange the meaning we give to things instead of quitting them? Is it possible to just change the meaning we give to things and then they would start working for our benefit? Can we change the results by changing our perception? Such a very good question. And the answer is yes and no, because it all depends. There are so many, many, many different variables for all of us. We all come into this reality with our own agenda, our own curriculum, our own history, beliefs and values, and all of that, and our own vibrational frequency related to all of that. But here's the thing is that, when we think about the vibrational frequency of our life here in this physical realm, it is just a spit in the wind compared to the vibrational frequency of our true self. And that also is contributing to this life experience. We've all got our own agenda. We've got our own curriculum. We've come here to learn and experience what we've come here to learn and experience. And so we all have this, we're at a different level when it comes to the vibrational frequency. So let's look at beliefs. Beliefs are so important. And of course, a belief is just a thought you keep on thinking. And it is that set of beliefs that is created in the brain, all those neural pathways, right? That is sending that vibrational frequency out. So that's what this question is about is, well, if you change the belief, then you change the frequency. So then you have a different experience of it. And yeah, and for some people, that's so easy to do. Think about somebody who goes to a faith healer. They have such strong clarity in that belief that this person's going to heal them, that they actually find that, they have that resonance with that frequency that comes back to them, and that happens for them. That is their reality. But if you're sending out a frequency that, you want to be able to eat ice cream and without worry about gaining weight, well, that's a change in your frequency, but there could be so many other things going on in that frequency that kind of muddies the water that you're not going to get the result that you're looking for. In the world of frequency, we're all at a different place. And, we're here for our own experience of learning and growing and expanding. And you can bring yourself up to that level of experience. For some of us, it's a process. It takes a while to get up there. Other people, they're just up there from the start. It's sort of like people that are psychic, that ability for them is right at the surface. They didn't have to really do a lot to access it. It's just kind of there for them. Other people can get to that point, but you got to work your way up to it. It's about vibrational frequency. And you cannot have the experience of something that holds a vibration that you can't hold. You have to be at a level where you can hold that vibration for yourself. Think of a wine goblet. I bet you've all seen that at some point in your life. The picture of the crystal goblet, right? It's just sitting there. It's holding the vibration of where it is. And then somebody starts to sing a note, and they hold the vibration of that note long enough and strong enough that that vibrational frequency disrupts where that this goblet is. And this goblet cannot hold that frequency, and it explodes. So now this does not mean that you're going to explode if you try to hold a frequency that you're not ready for. It just means you're not going to have the result that you wanted or that you expected, because you're not able to hold that frequency, or you have so many other things going out on this frequency that you need to do a little more work. You need to do a little more energy clearing, or a better word for that maybe is you just need to come to a better understanding of why you have those negative feelings about eating the ice cream. I would dare say it's not really about eating the ice cream. It is the negative feeling you have about gaining the weight. Okay, where did that come from? Where did you learn that gaining weight is a bad thing? Now, gaining weight, of course, has an infinite number of definitions to it. Are we talking about 10 pounds? Are we talking about 110 pounds? Okay. What does it mean to you to be overweight? Does it mean that you're a failure, that you're a loser, that you're unattractive, that you're not going to have a relationship, yada, yada, yada? Because lots of people are overweight and they have all of that stuff. They got money, they got relationships, they've got it all seemingly, and they're overweight. So we have to look at what our specific programming is, both individually, culturally, globally. What other components are involved in the vibrational frequency of those negative feelings about eating ice cream and possibly gaining weight? So it's just such an interesting idea, because back to the faith healer, they truly believed that they could be healed, and they were. And yet other things happen to us where we don't really realize we have a belief. And I think this is more of that collective agreement of beliefs. For example, my daughter, when she was little, she had an allergy to wet dogs, only wet dogs. When the dog was dry, she didn't have the allergy, but if it was wet, poof. So you would think, okay, if she didn't have that belief about herself, then she wouldn't have that experience. But sometimes she would be in the house or even asleep, and the wet dog would come into the house and she wouldn't know, and she would break out. Okay. Somehow, somehow I get it, because that vibrational frequency of that belief is infinite, right? And so that wet dog in her environment, that all came to her, and she had that reaction, even though she didn't even know the dog was there. I had a client that honestly, she was scared to death of her food, allergic to everything under the sun. So we did some work, and I remember her husband emailing me the very next day. He walked into the kitchen in the morning. His wife was sitting there eating oatmeal, hadn't been able to eat oatmeal for years because of her allergies to it. Well, she had such a shift in her belief after that one session with me that she was able to eat that oatmeal the very next day, and she was fine. She did not experience that negative result of eating that. So I hope you can see my point here is that, yes, we can just change the meaning of something, and then it will work differently for us. And for some people, that's just the last little piece they need to change in that frequency. For other people, that frequency of whatever that fear is has a lot of other components that need to be addressed. But I think it is safe to say that it's all fear-based. And if we can get to the point in our lives where we are able to release the vibrational frequency of fear, both the learned fear, the assumed fear, but the collective agreement of fear, then we're going to have a lot cleaner vibrational frequency go out. And yes, absolutely, you can get to the point of eating whatever you want and have no negative effect. There's a story of a yogi or some spiritual teacher who was challenged by one of his students to drop acid, and he dropped a bunch of acid or something. Sorry, I can't give you the reference on that, but it had zero effect on him because he had such clarity of his energy field and his belief systems. I mean, he was at such a high vibration that he did not succumb to the agreements that we all agree to in this collective field of physical matter. So anything's possible. Anything's possible. That's all. I'm just going to leave it at that. If you're interested in learning more about vibrational frequency and elevating yourself up to that state where you are truly interacting with life from the true self, and you are, up and away and able to hold the vibration of perspective without fear, I've been reading some very interesting books, and I'm not here to sell books or anything, but if you are familiar with a gentleman named Paul Selig, Selig, he's a channeler, and he calls it the guides, and the information that comes through him is quite profound in my opinion. So I've been reading some of his books and loving it, and it definitely falls in line with all of this. It's way beyond what I can address here in these videos on this channel, but I'll leave links for that. All my links for books and things are affiliate links, so just to be clear with you on that. So take a look at that. I do recommend that you read his books in order, because the guides, when they're teaching you about this vibrational frequency and how to rise into a higher frequency, they start you at a level, they meet you where you're at, and then they bring you up. And if you try to start at the top of that, you may not have the result that you're looking for. We're all different on that. So I hope I have satisfactorily answered that question for you without going on for 45 minutes like I did in the previous video. If you have some more questions for me, let me know. You can send them to me at this address. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up if you got some value out of this video, this conversation. And I hope that you'll send me some more questions, because it's kind of fun to know what people are wondering about. And if I don't know the answer, I'll just say, I don't know. Sorry. But it's fun to talk about. And I appreciate your time. And I will see you in the next go round.